relationships for high schoolers. And today's topic is going to be communication. But first, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Paige, and I'll be facilitating for you today. And one thing I would like to discuss is confidentiality. This is one of the rules that whatever is said in here stays in here unless it harms yourself or someone outside. If any of you guys have questions, you can raise your hand and I'll pass this. It's called the talking stick. And any of you, your students who are participating, can only have the talking stick when you say anything, but it does not apply to me because I'm the facilitator. So, does anyone have any questions about confidentiality? Yeah? Okay. So first, let's talk about group rules. What are some rules that you guys think should be applied? Like, for example, confidentiality. If someone outside of this group says something that another group member doesn't want being said outside of here, what should happen to the person who communicated that information? You don't have an idea.
I mean, we should like a warning the first time, and then after that, I definitely think there should be a consequence. So it'd be like, you can't come to group, or like, you can't talk in group, or.
Okay. Does anyone agree with that? Yeah?
I don't agree with that. I think, honestly, the first time, the person should be kicked out of the group, because if they're sharing everything that we're sharing in the group with everyone else in the school, then what's the point in this group? The reason I'm coming is to share about this thing that's happening with this, about this in relationship. I don't want the whole school to know. If I wanted the whole school to know, I'd tell them myself.
Yeah, that's why trust is important in this group. I hope that over time we can build this trust, and the consequences are to try to avoid that someone breaking this rule. And we are here to just better ourselves, and some people will make a mistake sometimes. And if they say something, it might not be intentional. So I think that's a little harsh to kick someone out. Give me some answer. No. Okay. Well, how about you?
I think we should use our phone if it rings. You know, sometimes people call me anything important, and you know, do your phone ever ring?
I don't know if I.
Do your phone ever ring? Do your phone ring?
Mine rings all the time.
Your
because I'm
phone
super
girl,
popular.
yes,
They're like,
yes.
they're always calling
We
me.
need somebody to
Actually, I
call
think
me.
I might have.
Yes.
Oh, look at this. I
Finish
just
the conversation.
Yes.
Okay. So the phone thing, I think we should turn off our phones while we're here because it's only for an hour. And
Yeah.
it shouldn't. Yeah, I know. But it's just super important that we all listen to each other and we pay attention. And yeah. So, anyone else have an idea?
I think that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So basically today's topic is communication, as I said before. So first of all, let's start this off with a communication game called telephone. Basically, I'm going to say something to Jamia. I'm going to whisper it in her ear, and then she's going to whisper it to John, and then John's going to whisper it to Jenny. Okay. And then we'll see what comes out at the end. Talking stick.
I got smelly jeans or flood.
Well, I said jelly beans are good. Yeah, that's funny. So this is why communication is really important, because if things are communicated in the wrong way, such as through this telephone game, it can come out, misunderstandings can occur. So this is why we need to communicate well. Does anyone have an example of when communication didn't go too well or how you dealt with it? Yes.
Oh my gosh, my girlfriend is so clingy, and she always wants me to communicate every little thing that I'm doing, and it is just so annoying. She annoys me so much. She's always annoying.
Okay. Okay, so how have you dealt with that in the past when you felt annoyed?
Stop texting me back, didn't pay attention to her. so many people are doing that.
Yeah, this is why it's important to communicate how you feel.
Oh my God, I got one.
Okay.
Let her go, just let her go.
Jenny, you'll have your turn.
I feel like as a girlfriend myself, obviously not your girlfriend because we date you, but I feel like she deserves to know. Like if you're with her and you're making that commitment to be in a relationship, she deserves to know like what you're doing. Like she deserves to know like how you're feeling and all this. Like literally you're giving her that commitment and being in that relationship with her. So maybe she cares and she just wants to know and be involved in your life. Like give her that. Like that's my problem is that I try to communicate with my boyfriend. I try to ask him, hey, what are you doing tonight? And he won't text me back, and then later on I'll see that he's out with his friends or doing something. And it's like, excuse me, but like, you could have at least told me that, and I would have been okay with it. But,
Have you told them that this is how you feel about it?
he won't listen to me. I try to communicate this to me, but he doesn't want to listen to this communication crap.
I got one. I go on Facebook, and I got a friend on Facebook that I talk to, and I don't have to do these problems that they have. You know, we just communicate on Facebook, and we got a good relationship. So I don't know why those two there.
So you've never met outside of Facebook? It's just.
No, it's safer. I don't have to.
Catfish. So, yeah.
Excuse me, y'all have something to say about my relationship?
Jenny has something to say.
Just say it, Jenny. Just say it.
I think you're really pretty.
Oh, well, thank you.
Okay. Anything about like?
Y'all got a mirror?
I think there's
No,
one
we don't
more.
have a mirror. Guys, this, let's just focus on, this.
I think my lipstick is,
Oh,
Okay,
I think you have a little,
okay,
little bit
okay.
more teeth right there.
Okay, let's,
okay, thank
okay.
you.
Okay.
Let's back on communication. So, I think John had something to say about communication, right? Or,
Yeah.
okay.
I guess like it's just it makes me angry when my girlfriend tries like
Okay, let's try this thing called an I statement. It's when you take a phrase like, it makes me angry, and start it with the word I, and you make, I feel this way when, or I feel angry when.
okay, so like I feel angry when I feel like she doesn't trust me.
So you don't feel trusted. Yeah, have you ever communicated this to her, that you don't feel trusted when she texts you all the time?
No.
No. This is why communication is important, see? Yeah.
Well, I feel like he doesn't even want to be in this relationship with me when he doesn't respond to me about these things. I feel like he doesn't want anything to do with me, and he doesn't even care that we're in a relationship together. Yeah, he's made this commitment and said that he wants to go out with me, but like he
Yeah.
won't text me back, and I feel upset.
So have you ever, so do you think he knows that it makes you this upset?
I've tried to tell him, but he won't listen to me.
Oh, she makes me angry. She makes me angry with all that crying.
You don't even have to talk sick, Jamina.
Okay.
I don't even care. She makes me sick with all that crying over some little stuff with her friend. She didn't even.
This is, we should not judge each other in here. We're all here to focus on improving our relationships, and we're not gonna improve by putting each other down. I'm sorry, Jenny. Tissue? Yeah. Yeah. So, why do you feel the need to always know every single detail of what he's doing in that moment, rather than just asking about his day later?
Well, it's not that I want to know every single thing, but like when I'm asking him if he wants to hang out or maybe do something, like he won't respond to me, but then it makes me feel like he's just ignoring me, but then later I find out that he's actually busy doing something else. But if he were to just tell me, yeah, I'm hanging out with my friends, like,
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that. I just,
If you would
wanna
have just
know, like,
communicated.
yeah, communicate it to me.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yes.
Communication is key.
Yes, that's true. Yes. Does anyone else have comments?
first I want to say, I'm sorry, Ben, for talking about your boyfriend. But, well, I do have communication with mine. We do communicate on Facebook, but, you know, sometimes I get on Facebook and he is on somebody else. So that makes me feel very upset. So,
See, the thing about, just communicating on Facebook, you say that, people who have relationships outside of just Facebook, they have all these problems. But you see, when you don't have those problems and it's all over Facebook, you may not have that, but you also don't really have much of a commitment there. And that's kind of like when you have a commitment, you're gonna run into problems. And that's why it's important to communicate, so, there will be less problems, or you can get through those problems. You see? Yeah. So I think now is a good time to conclude what we went over. Basically, it's important to communicate how you feel to one another, and just if a boyfriend is constantly being texted, just say, hey, I'm busy right now. And a girlfriend should always be like, I do trust you. I was just worried about this. With online relationships, there should be a commitment outside of just Facebook. Facebook relationships are not always like the healthiest, and they're not always most committed. So, yeah.
I just have to say thank you to John for coming to this group, because it's nice to hear what the opposite gender has to say about this issue. Thank you, John.
yeah, thank you, John.
You're welcome.
Okay, I'd like to conclude this with a quote. The greatest problem with communication is we don't listen to understanding. We listen to reply. We listen with curiosity. We don't listen with intent to reply. We listen for what's behind the word.